Alasdair MacLeod discussed the benefits of owning physical metal. According to him, never ever buy a pool allocated with a company that provides an unallocated service. He said that given the massive quantity of dollars and bank credit that have been printed certainly since the Lehman crisis, gold and silver are as cheap. It is that certainly when it comes to gold, the authorities do not like the idea of seeing a revival to their fiat currencies. They are very sensitive to that. On the other hand, they are concerned about the future to their currencies and they will include gold in their reserves because there is no counterparty risk to it. When it comes to silver, governments don't hold any silver or they certainly don't hold it on the central banks. Whether there is any sort of industrial stockpile, countries like China would run an industrial stockpile, but there's very little evidence of it. The US used to run huge stockpiles of 20 million ounces. We don't know whatever it was. There's no evidence of that anymore. That's all been sold off so far as we are aware. So they don't really have any control of the silver price. But if silver starts suddenly shooting north, the two problems. First of all, the bullion banks still deal in silver and they don't like being caught short. They are not hugely short, they are a little bit short at the moment. So that's not an enormous problem, but it's a warning sign. Alasdair says that silver is the canary, if you like, in the gold mine, which is sort of about to keel over because there's something wrong in the system. The establishment is not keen to see the silver price rise, and of course, you have got the other thing. You have got huge great industrial interest. You want to keep the price down. This is probably where China comes in too, because they are the largest manufacturers of solar panels in the world. They have been industrializing at a huge pace and are still continuing to do so. They would naturally want to see silver can do this push, the price down pushes, the price up, whatever they want to do. But at the end of the day, and it may be sometime in the future, but at the end of the day, markets always return. If you like, pricing comes back and pricing gives you the right economic signals. We are not getting the right economic signals at all at the moment because of the suppression of interest rates. The amount of money that's being literally hosed into financial markets, 120 billion a month, going in from the Fed into pension funds and insurance companies in the form of QE is just massive. This is just market rigging, complete market rigging. The markets are fundamentally broken and part of that is the suppression of precious metals. So that they don't indicate that markets are broken. That is going to change. We don't know when. We don't know what even is going to suddenly switch off the flicker switch. But it will happen and then you will see that, as per Alasdair. Precious metals will be on a completely different price level. Now when that happens, you are either in or you are out, because just imagine that we are moving towards that 50 price level for silver. We make up one morning and find that suddenly it's 35. Alasdair suggests that don't rush, let it settle down and then we will look at the level to buy some. You end up buying it at 60 bucks to see it drift back to 40. That's always the fear. So you have got exactly this psychology with Bitcoin at the moment. If you missed it at 5000 bucks, when things are moving, you are either in or you are out. Now it really is as simple as that. So this is what you should know. If you believe that fiat currencies are extremely dangerous and in danger of collapsing along with financial markets because markets are broken, then you must have some insurance against that event, and that insurance is physical ownership of some gold and some silver. It's as simple as that. Bitcoin is not going to save you under these circumstances at all because people talk about Bitcoin being the money of future. But just imagine a bond market running in Bitcoin. You would have to have deeply negative interest rate because the supply is capped at 22 million. Whereas the global economy evolves, people's understanding of living tends to improve. That's not going to happen actually with Bitcoin. It can happen with gold and silver because you have got mine supply. And not only that, but you have got supply from other users. If you look at gold, it's the easy one to talk about. But the central banks have got about 35,000 tons of gold. So they can make. This is assuming they haven't got rid of it, which is certainly possible to a degree anyway. But they can turn their fiat currencies into gold substitutes at some level. So that's fine. And then you have got obviously people who might have some gold which was sitting there, and there's quite a lot of it. Monetary and quasi-monetary gold is probably around about 80 tons of the 190 to 200,000 ton total. So you can see that if demand for gold goes up because of economic demand, the private sector demands more money. If you like, then it's there in the form of scrap. It migrates from use as jewelry or whatever into monetary use. And this is desperately important. You have got to have the flexibility. But the flexibility is with the people, not with governments. That is the key. That is the key to understanding it, and silver is very much part of that story, according to Alasdair MacLeod. Now guys, I request you to please let me know your thoughts about silver. Also, if you want more such amazing videos, then you have to do just one thing. Like this video, subscribe to this beautiful channel. I'll catch you in my next amazing video. Till then, bye bye.